Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuznuz, and welcome to episode 4 of Road to Max Cash while flipping. Last episode we ended off with about 52 mil. We got some decent flips, but this episode we are really ramping it up. We get some huge flips, my biggest flips yet in this episode, so make sure you leave a like down below, and let's get right into the flips. Alright, so we started off this episode with one of my biggest flips yet. So here are some Zuriel's robe tops, 8 of them, and basically how I got these is I was checking the margins of things and I noticed these had a very low price. They were going for almost like 4.9 mil. Here I'm just insta selling the last one to get rid of it. But we ended up making almost 7 mil on these Zuriel tops. As you can see, I bought them for 4.9 mil each. I bought a bunch of them, and then I bought more for 5.7 mil. And basically, I insta-bought almost all of these. And then I basically controlled the market. So then I put these in and left them for a few days and ended up making almost 7 mil from these Zuriel tops. So I mean, Revenant items are great to flip because there aren't that many being traded and you can get huge flips like this. After this, Raksha was released, so I decided to do some of the new Raksha items, which is kind of scary because they can drop, and they have dropped a lot, but I was on a lot to check these, so I wasn't too worried about losing money. So I sold some laceration boots and made about 2.6 mil from these. They've gone down a lot since then, but I was checking the prices constantly to make sure that I, wasn't going to lose a ton of money. These aren't new items, but they were dropped from Raksha, so that's why I decided to try a few out. And they actually ended up being pretty good. Here we actually sold some Zuriel staffs and also some more laceration boots, as you'll see. I decided to keep on the Revenant item train because they're just so good if you can get them for the right price. And the laceration boots were doing pretty well here too. As you can see, the price went down a bit, but we did make 2.5 mil from the Zuriel staffs and 3.6 mil from the laceration boots, so a total of 6.1 mil. So the flip money we're making is really starting to pick up this episode. We end up, getting a ton of progress, so I'm really happy that these big flips have been happening. We're moving on to more laceration boots 4, and I actually ended up losing money on 2 of these boots, but then making money on 2 more boots. So as you'll see in my sales history, the price ended up dropping. So I bought 2 for 17 mil each, but then I also bought 2 for 14.8 mil each, and I ended up selling them for 16.2. So I lost 2 mil, but then made like 3 mil. So I ended up making 1 mil and 70K on this flip. So even though we lost money on some boots, we made so much money on the other 2 that it ended up evening out, and we still made about $1 million profit. So really lucky with this one. Could have gone a lot worse, but we ended up getting some decent profit. Now here we ended up selling some more laceration boots, just 1 pair, and this was when the margins just started to not work anymore. We made about 800K from this 1 pair of laceration boots, which is still pretty good with how fast these bought and sold. So I was having way more luck flipping these than something like Drygores. So not too bad of a profit there. And then the last boots were Blast Diffusion boots, which I didn't have as much luck flipping as the laceration boots, probably because people weren't buying them as much. Laceration boots were used a lot for Raksha, so people were probably buying them a lot and then also selling them because they get them as drops. But we did make about $1 mil off these 2 laceration boots, and that was about the end of my luck with the Raksha items, but we did move on and find some more good items. So since Raksha was out, people were dying a lot, and onyxes went up in price a lot, and so much onyxes were being traded. So here we made about 1 mil off 18 onyxes, and I can't stress enough how fast I was actually buying and selling these. Like, it really did not take that long at all to buy and sell these onyxes. Here we do another batch of onyxes, and we made about one mil there too. So as you can see, these onyx flips are just coming in really fast. Honestly, sometimes it would take like 10 minutes to buy all the onyxes. Then they would sell within like 10 minutes as well. Here's more onyxes. Ended up making about 1.1 mil here. The margin kind of started to close a bit, so we kind of moved on from the onyxes here. And here's something that I actually did. I bought a Crest of Zeros for about 42 mil, and I actually made them into dormant animal core legs. And the reason I did this was because I was on my main account and I was trying to buy dormant animal core legs, and they weren't buying for like 46 mil. So I was like, how much is a crest? So I tried to buy a crest on my flipping account, and it ended up buying for really cheap, and you can just make them into the legs. So it basically cost me no money, and as you see here, 46 mil is what they sold for. So we made 3.8 mil from turning that crest into anima core legs of Zeros, which have no requirements. The dormant legs cost 180k, so 3.8 mil is a very, very good. And I ended up sticking to the theme of like God Wars 2, and I actually ended up making huge money here. So basically, I ended up selling some Zammy S, and I made about 4.8 mil off 12 Zammy S. I was buying them for 4 mil each, selling them for 4.4 mil each. And then I also ended up making 3.4 mil from the Serenic Essence as well. So, I mean, we made a total of 8.2 mil off these essence, and it wasn't taking me that long to buy and sell these essence. So this item was a godsend, this video. The essences, I do more of them, and they really are insane because people are buying them to try to get Illa Junking components to get Aftershock. So here we go. I end up selling 4 more of the Saren S, and I made about 2.2 mil from these. At this point, the margins, kind of started to close, so I didn't do any more of the Saren S, but they did make us a nice 2.2 mil, and then I ended up doing more Zamorakian Essence, 13 more here, as you can see, 58 mil for 13. And this was one of our biggest flips. We bought them for 4 mil each, sold them for 4.5, and we ended up making 6.3 mil from the Zamrock Essence. So, man, these just made us so much money and honestly got us so much progress. Like, I think off Essence this episode, we've made almost 20 mil off these Essence, and it's like 4 flips. It's not like I flipped these 50 times. So the margins on these were just like, I was getting like 1 mil margins on an Essence, which is like rare to get on something like Drygores, and I got it on Essence, which buy and sell way more often. So really, really lucky with the margins there. Here I ended up selling an Armadillo chest plate, sticking with the kind of invention theme. On my main, I was trying to buy Armadillo to disassemble for precise components, and they wouldn't buy. So I was like, I'm going to put in a low offer. I got it for 9.1 mil, and I ended up selling it for almost 10 mil. So, we made a nice 900k on an Armadillo chest plate. So not too bad there. A lot of people, buy them to disassemble or level up for precise components. So, it was a fair bit of money there, 900k, and I stuck with the theme, and I bought an Armadillo chain skirt, ended up selling it for 11 mil. So I left this in there for a while, actually, not too long, I think like overnight, and as you can see, bought it for 8.5 mil, sold it for almost 11 mil, so we made 2.5 mil on one Armadillo chain skirt. The flip was insanely lucky. There weren't very many being sold, so I ended up being able to leave that in and make a ton of money. And then here again, we sold some Anima Core Legs of Zeros, which I actually made. I believe I bought a Crest of Zeros overnight. So here you can see 42 mil for the crest, and we ended up making about 1.8 mil after we made these into Anima Core Legs of Zeros. So some really cool methods we did here, and then to finish us off, sold some Onyx. and ended up making around 900k on these. So a nice solid flip to end the episode. We did a lot of really cool flips, and I think you'll be excited to see all the money that we made. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed episode 4 of Road to Max Cash while flipping on RuneScape 3. If you don't know, we started this series with 10 mil and our road is to get to max cash. So this episode we had a lot of huge flips and it really started picking up in how much money we were making per flip. Last episode and episodes before we were, happy to make like $1 mil a flip. 500k a flip, but this episode we were in the 6-7 mils a flip, which was absolutely insane. And I think in the coming episodes you're gonna see the growth of my cash stack just explode exponentially. But yeah, last episode we ended with 52 mil in our cash pouch, and this episode we actually almost doubled our money and we hit the 100 mil mark. So we have 101 mil, so we made almost 50 mil this episode, which is absolutely insane. Most of these flips were actually done in like 3 or 4 days. So the past Raksha release, I wasn't flipping a ton because Raksha came out, but a lot of these flips were done in 3 or 4 days, so tons of money made. And next episode we're gonna we can finally start getting into some even bigger items, so I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like. I actually have playlists for this on my channel if you want to watch any previous episodes. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you get all these episodes to your subscription box. And if you want to support me, I want to thank all my current channel members for supporting the channel. If you want to support me, you can click the join button on the bottom of the video in the description or on my channel, and you can join my channel memberships and you can get a ton of cool perks, like you can get me to add you on Discord in game. I'll go PVM with you, give you some lessons in PVM, help you out with whatever you need. So a lot of cool perks there I tried to make. So if you guys want to support me, that's amazing. So again, thank you to all my channel members, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.